BBC television. To mark the occasion, we now begin a Blue Peter double.
And welcome to a very special edition of Blue Peter. Now, you probably recognise some of those countries. They're just a few of the places that Blue Peter has visited on our summer expeditions.
And a bit later on, we'll be revealing our plans for 1984, and I'll give you a very small clue. It's somewhere very hot and dry.
And you can see what happened when Simon and I tackled one of our toughest assignments when we took part in the Royal Navy field gun race.
But first, we must say many congratulations to our very good friend Percy Thrower, who's just been awarded the MBE in the Queen's Birthday Honours list for his services to gardening.
Great, well done, Percy.
We knew he had a fuchsia in gardening.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll be seeing more of Percy soon, because in honour of Pete's last programme, we've put together some of his most memorable Blue Peter moments. And it all began nearly 4 years ago, on September the 11th, 1980, when Pete made his very first appearance in our studio.
And we're very pleased indeed that Peter Duncan's come to join us.
Yes, welcome to Blue Peter, Peter.
Well,
lovely to have you with us.
Thank you for such a lovely introduction. And where did you get all those photos from?
Oh, devious means, you know, devious means.
Have you any particular thing in mind that you'd love to have a go at?
Well, I've always wanted to be a hang glider. I wanted to go hang gliding. I've never done that.
Sorry, we've done it. No.
Done that.
No.
Hang gliding was out, but I soon got off the ground when I impersonated George Formby. The following Christmas, I was singing again.
Daisy, Daisy, give me your answer, do. I'm half crazy, all for the love of you. It won't be a stylish marriage, we can't afford a carriage, but we'll look neat upon the seat of a bicycle made for two.
You have to turn your hand to anything on Blue Peter, and your feet as well. Roy Castle and Claire Parker joined Sarah and me for this toe-tapping version of Putting on the Ritz. One of the biggest challenges I've faced was getting to grips with this 24-stone sumo wrestler in Japan. I seemed to hit the floor a lot, but afterwards our interpreter told me Koto Noyu had complimented me, saying I was a brave fighter. Japan was the first of my 3 summer expeditions. The following year, the heat was on in Canada. Oh, you can't get much nearer to a forest fire than this. You can actually feel the heat. It's really hot here. You can see all those trees over there all burnt, and look at it go. The fireman told me that when there's white smoke, it's all right, but you can see there's black smoke. So that makes it even hotter. Ah, the heat. A different kind of disaster took me to Java in Indonesia to report for our Operation Pipeline appeal. The people of this village had no pure water system, and I saw for myself how desperately they needed help.
Silly, can we ask the lady how far she has to walk to get her water in the dry season?
She told us that when the spring dries up, the water here becomes polluted, and she has to walk up to 5 kilometers to fill her pots, not just once, but 3 or 4 times a day.
Much better.
Yes, right.
Thank you very much for talking to us.
That's it, that's it.
One of my most important Blue Peter jobs was being a puppy walker.
Come on.
Prince was one of Goldie's puppies, and I helped with the first year of his training to become a guide dog.
Come on. Up the stairs. This is a good boy. There, we're going to get all the way to the top now, aren't we? Going to go right to the top. That's a good boy.
Prince had to learn to take all unexpected noises in his stride. So a visit to London Airport under the watchful eye of Derek Freeman was a good test. He did so well, Derek said he could go on to one of the guide dog training centres. We were happy and sad at the same time.
You have to be, what, unselfish, I suppose.
That's the word. Certainly, all our walkers get attached to puppies. You need to discipline them, you need to educate them, and you need to give them a lot of affection if you're going to do the job right. And a dog knows whether you're sincere about it.
Yeah.
Although we were all sorry to see Prince go, the joy he brought to John Bates, his new blind owner, more than made up for it.
Well, you've got 4 weeks of hard work together now, John.
Yes, that's right, cheers.
He's looking out the window.
4 weeks of street bashing.
I think he wants to take you out right now, I think.
Yes.
Prince's training hadn't all been hard work. I shan't forget the day we went to the seaside with the guides from the first Glen Hills Company. Prince fancied a dig in the sand rather than a swim, and I wasn't let off with just a paddle. Dunking Duncan became a popular pastime, and the Marines had a go in this water tunnel. I went first to get it over with. I took a deep breath and left it to the Marines.
Right down as far as you can go. Feet up. 2.
Okay.
Good. Okay, let's go, mate. Come on.
The endurance course was one of my most gruelling film assignments, and one of my most frightening experiences was also served up by the Navy, the Underwater Training Unit at Portsmouth. This contraption is a mock-up of a helicopter, and the aim is to show the pilots how to escape if they crash in the sea. As soon as I felt the jerk of the dunker hitting the bottom, I twisted my belt free and scrambled clear. I was up to my neck in water again in Wales when I had my first experience of wild water canoeing. When the water's this rough, it's better to be in it than on it, as I discovered when I joined a fishing trawler in the North Sea. The boat ploughed on for several hours, and later I learned that the winds were approaching a force 9 gale. The ship's crew were braving it out down below, waiting for another catch. But I was now definitely seasick. The roll of the boat, the stench of the gutted fish, and the diesel fumes from the engine were all too much.
Drink that, because the more you drink, the better it is.
And eat.
You what?
And eat.
Oh, eat. Oh, you have to try and get something down here. Once you get it done, you'll feel much better, see?
I thought I'd never want to eat again. But it wasn't long before Chef Duncan's attempt at cooking were amusing viewers back in the studio.
Some chopped raw egg. Now, that's an extra ingredient if you...
Now's your chance, Peter, to satisfy the curiosity of all the viewers who wrote in and says, how do you chop a raw egg? Paul Tether, rather, of Banstead, says his mother wondered if there's a special way of doing it.
Well, Peter, here's your raw egg. I'll just crack it open. And we've got a nice sharp knife here, which I think you'll need.
A sharp knife might
and
help,
you can,
actually.
Yes, you can demonstrate to us how you chop a raw egg.
Oh, you're going to make me go through this. You know there's no way I could chop a raw egg. It was a real mistake. I should have said chop a hard-boiled raw egg, shouldn't I?
That's what you should have said, yes.
Yes, well, I'm sorry for all the would-be cooks that spent the whole night trying to chop out raw eggs, but it isn't possible, I'm afraid.
I did a little better with our barbecue, demonstrating Blue Peter's viewers' recipes. Even Percy Thrower approved.
I think we're going to serve up Percy first.
Oh, go on.
We're going to try out...
We're
going to try out some of our lamb chops.
Get your lashes around that.
Percy. Do you mind using your fingers?
I don't mind using my fingers.
That's all right. Now, Simon next.
Now, what do you think?
Slightly sweet.
Cheers, it's got sugar on it.
Beautiful.
What else?
Beautiful.
What else?
I'll give you a first-class medal for this.
Thank you.
Something else I won medals for were the London marathons. Altogether, I ran 4 times, but none of them quite matched the thrill of the first. I knew there was no chance of winning, but I was determined to finish. It was the support I got from Blue Peter viewers on the route that really kept me going.
Peter, do you want a drink? Do you want a drink?
Yeah.
Go on, go on. All right, how's it going anyway?
All right, I got a huge blister on my right foot. I go slow.
You're doing great anyway. You've got 10 miles to go.
I know, I'm taking it easy. I'm going to speed it up a bit now.
You're going to make it to the finish?
Yeah.
Well done, all the best.
All right, mate.
You can do it, you can do it. Go on.
The memory of finishing that first marathon will stay with me forever, and my time, 3:11:55, is still my best. Next year, I ran into big problems due, I'm afraid, to lack of proper training.
Peter, how are you doing? Obviously not too well at the moment.
No, I'm afraid not. No, I had a run on Friday. And something happened to the knee, but no excuses, don't matter. I was going right up to a 20 and then I hit the famous wall.
You really hit that wall, did you?
Well, it was the floor, actually.
Did you go over? Did you keel over?
Yeah, I discovered the wall is the floor.
You've only got about 3.5 miles. You'll make it. Good lad, keep going, keep going. Everybody.
My green and white checks were the result of a competition to design a new outfit for me.
Now, this was my favourite clown costume. It comes from Jennifer Griffiths. Well, Jenny Howlett, who's 5, comes from Yaxley near Peterborough. Here's something fashionable. It's a new romantic outfit designed by Sarah Baldry, who's 15. Well, this is my casual Saturday afternoon at the match look. Andrea Treadra, who's 15, from South Harran, London, describes her outfit as rather outrageous.
But here's the suit I chose from the thousands of entries, designed by 14-year-old Darren Turner from Goring by Sea.
Isn't it just terrific? I think it looks amazing. It's just how I imagined it would end up being. It's so comfortable as well. And, of course, it's in my favourite colour, green.
Would you please welcome...
It was all spangles and tights when I joined the Flying Rochelles for lessons on the circus trapeze. They said I was good enough to take part in an actual performance.
I'm falling.
100 metres high climbing Winter's Leap, there was no safety net. I was petrified.
You have to pull me, John.
Right. Try and step up onto the edge. Try and use your feet a bit.
John, you have to pull me. I'm getting very weak. John!
Right.
John!
Oh, you're all right.
Oh, Christ.
We held a competition to name my new route, and out of thousands of suggestions, we chose 6 top runners-up.
6 favourite ideas were Duncan's Drop, Duncan's Dare, Duncan's Folly, Duncan's Dilemma, Peter's Panic, and Peter's Peril. And you'll be pleased to know that I have chosen the winner from one of these 6. Now, to the winner. After much deliberation, I felt that the choice most appropriate to my climb was Duncan's Dilemma. Now, the reason I chose that one, because when I looked up dilemma in the dictionary, it said it was a choice between 2 or more unwelcome alternatives, and that's just how I felt about the climb, because any way I went, each alternative was unwelcome.
My next climbing exploit was just as hard. I went to Ravenscrag in the Lake District to try an ice climb with a mountaineer who conquered Everest, Doug Scott.
Not so good, Pete.
Not so good.
No. Just crumbling.
The rushing water was melting the ice on the inside, while the rain was causing chunks of ice to break off as we climbed. Doug made sure we were securely roped on, and with the help of the ice axes, I hauled myself up. We reached the ice waterfall 800 metres above sea level, with only an hour's daylight left. I felt on top of the world as we stopped 10 metres from the summit to have a rest and a cup of tea from Doug's flask. But it was just too dark to carry on filming. Despite all the efforts of 3 of the world's top mountaineers, we'd been beaten by the weather. Cold as Ice was the title of my first record, but we filmed it on a hot summer's day.
No one to hold my hand, no one to say I love you. Staring at the sky, it's a lonely day, hoping that someone will come up and say, how are you? How are you? How are you?
It was a nerve-wracking moment when Elton John came to the studio to give his opinion. I'm hesitant to ask you this next question, but I'll just come out with it. What did you think of the song?
I thought it was really nice, and I really like the voice too. It reminds me of Colin Blunston, who I think has got a tremendous voice. So you're all right. It's better than my first record anyway. My first record was appalling.
Well, coming from you, that's a real compliment. Elton's bike's been to the studio too. It was sold for £2,600 to a bloke called Paul Hamlin of London. I think it's rather good. Now, the suit, well, this costume is what Elton used to come on the stage when he used to wear his bike. Wear the suit, I mean, not the bike. And this wasn't in the sale. This belongs to a new museum called the Theatre Museum, which is going to open up in a couple of years.
Off your bike, lad, I tell you. I want to see you do a soft shoe shuffle in Elton John's high heels. Come on. Not bad. Not bad,
is it?
Whoops.
There was more dressing up last Christmas.
Isn't it?
What's this? What's this? A rolling pin.
Give me what it was.
A chef's hat. Oh, very nice, very nice.
Oh, yes.
Try all this on. Let's see. I think someone's detected I like to dress up. I don't know. Rolling pin.
Now will you do it properly?
Madhur Jaffrey's Indian cookery in a rolling pin.
Great.
Very nice. Thank you very
I'll
much.
be round for a biryani unboxing day. Janet.
I don't often wear evening dress, but then I don't often conduct a full symphony orchestra. This was another great moment out of 4 years packed with wonderful, different and exciting memories that I'll treasure forevermore.
Put it there.
Thank
Many
you very much.
congratulations. That was
Well,
great.
that was fun.
Well done,
All in
our
4
editor
years,
as well.
eh?
Wasn't that amazing?
Excellent.
You could cram so much you wouldn't believe it, would you? Into 4 years.
Must
I
have
don't know
been
what to say.
amazing having that orchestra following your every
Well, I don't think they were
move.
following me. I think I was following them more like.
Well, it looked good.
Pete, it's really difficult, but I mean, can you pick a favourite Blue Peter happening or a couple?
Well, it's hard. There's different kinds of things. I suppose in the journalistic sense, going to Indonesia and reporting Operation Pipeline was exciting. And doing that silent movie with Janet, went down in Brighton. What else was there? The exciting things like the trapeze and sort of rock climbing. And I enjoyed the Buddhism film. But one of the top ones is the one coming up, the field gun race.
Right. Well done. That was great. Brilliant. Well, you can see the field gunning race coming up very shortly in the second half of our double bill because there's lots lots more in this special edition of Blue Peter. And we'll all be back after John Craven's news round. But right now, over to the news round studio.
Miners' leader Arthur Scargill among those hurt in the latest scuffles in the coal strike.